Hey everyone, Engram here. It's Wednesday, the 13th of November 2019 in sunny Sydney, Australia. And this morning, the Sims team ran another Maxis Monthly, this time with SimGuru Ninja and SimGuru Dana. And they talked about the new stuff that's in the current patch, the one that dropped this morning, but also they told us that they're going to be doing another community voted stuff pack. So I'm pretty excited about this and I thought I would discuss it with you guys. This time around, the voting blocks are going to be slightly different. They have put the theme and gameplay voting into one voting block, and that begins just next week, November 18, which I think is on Monday. The second voting block is going to be art style, then clothing selections, object selections, and then finally we are going to be able to vote for the title. The first theme that we're going to be presented with will be arts and crafts, and the possible gameplay objects within that theme are the pottery wheel, edible art, embroidery and cross-stitch, knitting and glass fabrication. And oh my goodness, I hope we get to choose at least 2 of them as gameplay objects because I love this theme. I won't lie to you, of everything I saw this morning, this was definitely my favorite. We really need hobbies. I would love for this theme to win if we were to have one of these packs. I mean, I really, really love this. Okay, I would love, for example, all of these. I mean, really all of these. But if I had to choose 2 of them, I think I'd probably go with the pottery wheel and possibly knitting. We haven't had knitting in the main Sims game, I don't think ever. I mean, we haven't had edible art or embroidery and cross-stitch either. We do kind of have glass fabrication in the Sims free play. But yeah, if I had to choose 2 out of this, I think I'd go with the pottery wheel and I would go with knitting. Although, really, I would love to see sewing as well. As in like a sewing machine where your Sims could make clothing and that sort of thing. Although I suspect that that's not in here because we had it in The Sims 2 because clothing cost $200 a piece in that game, whereas now your Sims can just go to the wardrobe and put on anything. So unless there were special styles that you could make with the sewing machine, I can see that, yeah, the pottery wheel and the knitting would probably be, for me anyway, the ones that I would really love to have the most in the game. The next one that's been suggested by the gurus is self-care routines. So with that, you could get a fitness watch, some custom teas and herbal infusions, the vegan trait, which has been quite popular and people asking for it because vegetarian doesn't quite cover everything that a vegan believes in and stands for. We could also have a healthy living aspiration and we could get a smoothie blender as well. And I mean, quite honestly, I can't see, if this were to win, how you would choose between all of these. Okay, first up, check out the custom teas and herbal infusions. We already have a tea maker. The prospect of that is just not as exciting to me as the rest of it. I won't lie, not my favorite theme, because we all know I'm all about the arts and crafts. But if this were to win, I would not complain. The fitness watch, yeah, that's, that sounds like a little bit of fun. The vegan trait, healthy living aspiration, and the smoothie blender, I think those are my favorite 3. I don't know what I would take it down to if I had to choose just 2. Possibly the aspiration and the smoothie blender. Getting a new aspiration and probably the smoothie blender rather than more teas and that sort of thing, but having some sort of smoothies. This would work nicely with the Spa Day game pack as well. So yeah, I could see this working well with that. Next up, we have fun tech, where we could get a simulated sports screen, indoor cycling machine and treadmill with screens, a virtual putting green and modular mini golf, a void critter locator, and a portable hologram best friend. Okay, I don't mind this one. I'm all about arts and crafts, let's not forget that. But this one is actually, I think, pretty good. Not too excited about the simulated sports screen. We have the video gaming machine. I can't remember what it's called. You know, the one that you stand in and you can play a sports game in that. I know it's not overly interactive, but I don't see how a simulated sports screen will have us playing a mini game anyway. Then we have the idea of the indoor cycling machine and treadmill with screens. Yeah, that's not bad, but we already have treadmills, right? So yeah, that's not exciting me at all. The stationary bikes, yeah, I could get into that. The virtual putting green and modular mini golf. We had the mini golf before, I think. It was in The Sims 3, I believe. And that was actually quite a bit of fun. So I do like that. The void critter locator. I would love that. This would be something for our children to do. Finally, finally something for our children to do. Although with arts and crafts, you know what? They could probably do some of those arts and crafts as well. Let's be real. They could, they could use the pottery wheel. I hope they can. And, and they could do knitting. Anyway, the portable hologram best friend. You know what? I'm probably going to say no. I didn't like the invisible friend in The Sims 3. That thing, not kidding you, gave me nightmares. I don't like it. And I really don't need a portable hologram best friend that will keep popping up and then my Sims will refuse to use the toilet and the shower again. It's like having nightmares from The Sims 3 all over again, where they won't bathe in front of an imaginary friend or they won't pee. Like, it was so hard. The moment your kid got an imaginary best friend, they started wetting themselves and would stink all the time. I absolutely hated the imaginary best friend. It was possibly one of the worst features, apart from, any, for me, okay, is the imaginary hologram best friend is like the freaking monster under the bed. I just really don't like the idea. As you can probably tell, I have fairly strong feelings about the imaginary friend. Their imaginary friends are fine in real life kids. In Sim Kids, the monsters under the bed, it's like a nightmare happening every night where they wake up multiple times a night and go and wake up the entire damn family. Okay, it's just the thing that drives me batty. And then the imaginary friend in The Sims 3 was just a good idea, so badly implemented. It's Sims were just peeing themselves and not bathing all over the place. It just literally, rather than adding to the gameplay, it interfered with gameplay. I will leave it at that. Let's get on to the next theme. Science and technology. Now you're talking about things that I'm really interested in, apart from the arts and crafts, because let's face it, we want that to win, right? So the desktop microscope, yes, we've been asking for that for so long. STEM kits would be amazing. Having building blocks, so expanding on that idea of the school projects and having something like Lego, which is what SimGuru Dana mentioned, or one of the other kind of building blocks type sets. It would be amazing having something like that. So having some sort of a new activity table. And again, having something for the children. Yes, I want it. Food science and kitchen appliances. I can't quite remember what they mentioned in this section, but you know what? I like it. It's when Ninja was talking about this, I was like, yeah, Dave, keep telling me more. Tell me more, because I want to know about all of this food science and kitchen appliances stuff. I actually am one of those weirdos that, just enjoys cooking. I'm not the world's best cook, but I actually do enjoy cooking. And astronomy and a portable telescope, that would be amazing. Again, I loved the feature of being able to name stars after, after your loved ones and that sort of thing. I think that was in The Sims 3 where you could name constellations or name stars and that sort of thing. I just really miss that. It was nice being able to have a telescope in every family. This again falls into that having hobbies. Everything that we have seen so far really speaks to us what we really want and what we really need, I think. Okay, maybe not we. Okay, I think this speaks to what I really want and to something that I have seen quite a few simmers say, which is that we need hobbies. We need things that children can do. We need things that will make teens slightly different to just being slightly younger looking versions of young adults. We want them as a discrete age group, not young adult junior, because quite literally I've got 2 teens at home and they are absolutely not young adult junior. On to the last one. And the final theme that we will be voting on would be Happy Haunts, where we could have a ghost hunter freelance career, a seance table and a spirit board, and a psychic freelancer career or a grim reaper freelancer career, and also maybe a haunted house lot trait. I think I'm probably the least enthused about this one. I love the freelance careers, don't get me wrong, but the thing that my heart is crying out for right now is hobbies. I would just really love to see hobbies. I would really love to see more activities for children. I would love to see teens get a bit more differentiated from young adults and adults. I want them to be a discrete age group with something to do. And Happy Haunts with all of this, I mean, literally the Ouija board or the spirit board is a game, right? It's a video game. Not a video game, it's a board game. What am I talking about? I can see that, maybe, teen sims would be able to get involved with that. I can see that the seance table and spirit board being cut off from children and only being usable by teen and up, and teens not really being any different to young adults. As much as I love my supernaturals in the Sims games, I think this is the one theme that I am least enthusiastic about. The way we're going to find out about whether this is available in our games already or not will be when this screen appears in our games. In the middle of your UI on the main menu, you should already see this scrolling information, like just new widgets, a new widget, and we will see this, the create a stuff pack first vote, and then obviously the second, third, fourth, and fifth votes. In order to have access to this and for it to appear, you need to have surveys enabled, and that you need to do that in the options menu. So Engram, I hear you say, where do I find the option to enable in-game surveys? I'm glad you asked. It's right here in Game Options, in the Other tab, right at the bottom of the left-hand column, where there is a toggle switch for Enable In-Game Surveys. So go, run, don't walk, go, turn that on. The first set of voting is happening on Monday, November 18th. I really hope that you have found something that you are interested in those topics and themes. What I would love to vote for is to say, you know what, give us a game pack and give us 1 or 2 items from each of those categories. Have a hobbies game pack, because quite literally, as much as I love The Sims and I do enjoy playing The Sims 4, and I realize that it has its bad sides as well as its good sides, I don't see where splitting this up and quite literally nickel and diming the community for hobbies, where that's the best idea that they've had yet. I'll be quite honest. I will love the packs when they come out because I really, really want hobbies. But at the same time, I think what we need is a bigger pack that addresses that giant hole in the gameplay in this game. And that is having more rounded activities for children to do, and to perhaps have teens doing more of the children's activities so that they are differentiated a bit from the adults. I just really don't like the teens being adult junior. It's just not appealing to me. And I would really love a bigger hobbies pack that is aimed squarely at those two age groups. Obviously, I don't want to lock adults out. If there is knitting, if there's science microscopes, that sort of thing, yeah, okay, go for your life. Do that too. But give the kids and teens more to do. Give them something. It's the happy haunts. As much as I love supernaturals, more careers for adults is just not where this game needs to go right now. It's right now a bit of a young adult simulator, and the other age groups, which is kind of, the particularly children, teens and elders, are just really not paid attention to. I think we're probably busy enough with the toddlers, teaching them all the skills and everything. And we are probably, I don't actually care about carrying around the babies. So, I'm not part of the Free the Babies squad. But I really believe that children, teens and elders need more to do. I want my grandmas to sit there knitting or making pottery wheels and, pottery on wheels, that sort of thing. We really need so much more of that. We need more of that kind of science stuff, more activities for kids and teens to do. Expand that school project kind of idea with more projects or with those building blocks, that sort of thing. I could keep going on and on about this, especially as I'm most likely, I would say I am repeating myself at this stage. Please let me know down below in the comments, which of these packs most appeals to you? In that pack, which of the items most appeal to you? Do you like my idea of maybe scrapping this whole thing? Not that they will, but scrapping this whole thing and just going, you know what? We're going to give you a hobbies pack. That's actually what we need, and not this nickel and diming and chopping everything up. Where would you like to see this game go? What is the next step? What is really needed? What do you think? What would actually change core gameplay? Not another activity like, just expanding the gardening system and doing farming or whatever. It's kind of like, what would, for you, change the core of the gameplay? And on that note, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Please like, subscribe, leave a comment, all that good stuff. Be awfully good to each other, and I'll see you in my next video.